I never thought a single argument could destroy my life. I always believed marriages broke down slowly, over time, little by little. That love eroded like a river carving into stone, a gradual process of neglect, resentment, and misunderstanding. But I was wrong. Love doesn't always die quietly. Sometimes, it shatters in an instant, loud and violent, with no warning at all. It started on a Monday evening, after work. I had barely stepped through the front door when I could already tell something was off. The air felt charged, heavy, the way it does before a storm. Lisa, my wife of 8 years, sat on the couch, arms crossed, eyes sharp and cold. I didn't know what I had done yet, but I knew I was already guilty of it in her mind. "Where were you?" she asked, her tone clipped. I blinked, tossing my keys onto the counter. "At work." "Where else?" She let out a sharp, humorless laugh. "That's funny because Emily saw you at a coffee shop near downtown. You looked pretty cozy with some woman." I frowned, trying to remember. Then it clicked. "You mean Sarah?" "She's a client, Lisa. We were going over a contract." Her lips curled in disgust. "Oh, a client. Right." I sighed, running a hand down my face. "Come on, Lisa. You really think I'd cheat on you? Over coffee?" She stood abruptly, her hands shaking. "I don't know, David. You've been distant. Late nights, buried in work, barely looking at me. Maybe coffee is just the beginning." I stared at her, stunned. Had things really gotten this bad? I had been working hard, yes, but for us, to build our future, to keep things stable. How had we drifted so far apart that she thought I was unfaithful? My silence only seemed to fuel her anger. "You don't even deny it properly," she snapped. "You just act like I'm crazy." "Because you were being crazy," I shot back, the words escaping before I could stop them. Her face twisted with fury. "Go to hell, David." "Jesus, Lisa, can we just talk like adults?" But she was already grabbing her purse. "I'm done talking. Where are you going?" She turned at the door, eyes blazing. "Away from you. Maybe I'll find someone who actually gives a damn." The door slammed behind her. The argument had been bad, but I still believed she'd cool down, come back, and we'd talk it out like we always did. We had fought before. It wasn't the end of the world. Or so I thought. I had no idea that in the span of a few hours, she would do something that would change everything forever. She didn't come home that night. At first, I told myself she just needed space. Maybe she was at a friend's house, venting, drinking wine, cooling off. But by morning, she still hadn't returned. I called. No answer. I texted. "Where are you? Can we talk?" My stomach twisted. Something was wrong. Then, around noon, I got the message that shattered me. It was from Ryan, a friend of mine who worked security at a high-end hotel downtown. A man of few words, but when he spoke, you listened. "I don't know how to tell you this, but Lisa checked into a room here last night. She wasn't alone." For a long moment, I just stared at the screen. My brain refused to process it. Lisa, my wife, checked into a hotel. With someone else. My hands trembled as I typed back. "Are you sure?" Ryan's response was instant. "Saw her myself. I'm sorry, man." A weight crushed my chest. My lungs felt too small, my heart hammering wildly against my ribs. Lisa hadn't just walked out. She had gone straight to another man. I don't remember driving there. One moment, I was in my house. The next, I was standing in the lobby of the hotel, my fist clenched at my sides. Ryan met me at the entrance, his expression unreadable. "Room 714, he said. I didn't ask how he knew. I just went. The hallway was eerily quiet, the kind of silence that buzzes in your ears, making everything feel unreal. I stopped in front of the door, staring at the numbers as if they would change, as if they would tell me this was all a mistake. Then I knocked. No answer. I knocked again, harder. And then the door opened. Lisa stood there, barefoot, wearing only a hotel robe, her hair tousled in a way that made my stomach turn. Behind her, a man, shirtless, was sitting on the bed, looking at me with a mix of surprise and irritation. Time stopped. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Lisa's face went pale. "David." I pushed past her into the room. "Who the hell is this?" My voice was shaking, raw with disbelief. The man stood, hands raised in mock surrender. "Look, man, I didn't know she was married." I ignored him, turning to Lisa, waiting for an explanation. A reason for this madness. She wrapped the robe tighter around herself, her lip quivering. I was angry. I wasn't thinking. My vision blurred with rage. "So you just decided to destroy our marriage in one night?" Tears spilled down her face. "I thought we were over. I thought you didn't care." I let out a harsh, bitter laugh. So instead of talking to me, you ran straight to another man? You threw away everything over one fight? She sobbed, her entire body trembling. I messed up. Yeah, I whispered. You did. And then I walked out. Because there was nothing left to say. That night, I sat in my car outside our house, staring at the life we had built together, knowing it was over. Lisa texted, called, begged. I didn't answer. Instead, I called a lawyer. This is David Carter, I said when he picked up. I need to file for divorce. A pause. Rough night? You have no idea. He sighed. You sure about this? I closed my eyes. Lisa's betrayal burned into my memory. Yeah, I said. I'm sure. But I wasn't done yet. Lisa didn't just break my heart. She humiliated me. She threw away our life like it meant nothing. And I was going to make sure she felt every ounce of the pain she had given me. I wasn't just going to leave her. I was going to ruin her. Lisa didn't know what was coming. She thought this was just another fight. Thought she could cry, apologize, make promises she wouldn't keep, and I would take her back. She had no idea that I was done being her fool. I stayed silent for 2 days. Let her sit in the wreckage of her choices, waiting for me to answer her calls, her texts. I didn't. Then, on the third morning, I struck. First, I sent the divorce papers to her office. No warning. No discussion. Just a thick envelope with her name on it, waiting for her on her desk. She called me within minutes, her voice frantic. David, please, we can fix this. I hung up. Then, I leaked the hotel footage. Ryan, my friend at security, had access to everything. The grainy black and white video of Lisa stumbling into that hotel room, half drunk, wrapped around another man like she belonged to him. It started as an anonymous post online. Then, I sent it directly to her family, her friends, her boss. I made sure everyone saw her for what she really was. The next time she called, she was screaming. You ruined my life. I smiled. No, Lisa, you did that all on your own. Then I blocked her number. But I wasn't done. Lisa had been the perfect corporate wife, always careful with her image, her reputation. She was respected, admired. Not anymore. By the time I was finished, her name was dirt. Her boss fired her for conduct unbecoming. Her parents, humiliated, refused to even speak to her. Friends? Gone. And the man she threw our marriage away for? He ghosted her the moment everything went public.